So I was thinking that's what I was gonna do. I was gonna smoke marijuana, and next this guy ties up my left arm, shoots me up with the needle
At 9?
at 9 years old.
Welcome to Going 180. I am Dr. Deborah Wilson, your host, and I am here with what I refer to as, or who I call my little brother, Juan Flores. And we're just going to have a nice brother to sister chat. But Juan has definitely gone 180 in his life, and God has truly blessed him, and he's going to be himself. I want him to be relaxed. And so we're going to talk over some chamomile tea, fireside chat in Studio 914. So anyway, welcome, Juan.
Thank you.
And I'm so glad that you were able to join me. So one of the things that Juan and I talked about is that Going 180 is a podcast that was created for individuals that are going through a change, experiencing a change, maybe not ready to change, or have come 180, right? Or in the process. Because I think as individuals, we're always in the process of changing, right? And until we meet Jesus, we're always going to be changing. So, but there are some things that happen in Going 180 that between friends, between individuals and I, that are discussed that might not necessarily air. So I just want to make sure that that's clear, that this is my brother and there's other people that are going to come through here. This is a safe place. But just like with any other editorial or any other platform, there are edits. And so some of the things that we discuss are proprietary. And I just wanted to make sure that we put that out there so that everybody is good. So welcome. And again, I thank you for being here. So a very real story is that you started doing drugs at a very young age. So how old were you?
I was 9. So it was 2 months before I turned 10. I do remember because of so we were going to school, and I remember this guy asked me a couple weeks before that, that what I wanted to be when I grew up. And I said, I wanted to be a gang member. I wanted to be the biggest gang member in the world. I wanted to be bigger than Capone. And
where'd that come from?
I don't know. I don't remember.
And you watched Scarface?
I don't think at that time. I think I just watched old gangster movies, and I wanted to be something. I wanted to be something that I seen, and the attraction that I had was the OG homies that used to get out of prison, and they used to praise them. They used to praise them like they were kings, and I loved it. I loved that feeling. I wanted what they had. I wanted to be them when I grew up.
Well, how was your dad? Was your dad like that?
No, my dad was actually good. He drank, but they were like normies. Normal people. They were.
So there was nothing in your life, or your brothers, or your uncles, or anybody that made you. Maybe it was more what you saw on television that made you.
Could be. I don't remember exactly, but I do remember, growing up, walking through the alley and seeing the old G's every time I walked through the alley, and I questioned myself, why do they have that much attention, and I wanted it. And one day they asked me what I wanted to be, and that's when I said that, and they said, okay, well, I hope you choose something different. And I said, no, that's what I want, and they said, are you sure? I said, I'm 100%, and they said, so you're going to be willing to take drugs and everything? And I said, yeah. And it's funny that I say that because I used to be in what's called the DARE program with the cops in elementary school. I had the little ribbon or some shit like that, so it was funny, that I think about it now, but that's what I wanted. I wanted it so bad that I went one day to an OG house, and I knew that marijuana was bad. I didn't know there was other even drugs that existed in the world. I just knew marijuana was bad, and went to his house and seen him cooking something with the needle. And I didn't even know the the term weed. I just knew it was marijuana. I didn't know any other terms of drugs. I just knew marijuana was a drug, and I used marijuana. And so I was thinking that's what I was gonna do. I was gonna smoke marijuana, and next this guy ties up my left arm, shoots me up with the needle
At 9?
at 9 years old.
Did he know you were 9?
I don't remember, so I didn't ask him. I just knew that, that generation I grew up with is, you're older. They're older. You respect them, and that's what we do. And I just let them do it, and it felt weird. It felt nasty.
What was it?
Heroin.
At 9?
9 years old, and I got sick. I don't know what time I went home, but I remember being sick. And but my mom knew I was always sick all the time. Okay, so probably she felt that I was, having the symptoms, and I don't know if I went to school next day. I just remember that it just continued. I don't know. I don't want to say that it was every month, but it was.
But your mom knew when you got home that you were sick, but she didn't know it was because of heroin.
Yeah. So
she just thought you were sick.
Yeah. So I didn't. Obviously I wasn't going to tell her.
No. I'm just saying. You're right.
Yeah. So and it just continued. I remember we used to get $5. People that know me, they'll know that we got $5 every Sunday to go to church, which we didn't use it for that, but and I used to go to that Connect first and get some heroin because
at 9
years old, 9, 10, and it was good. It was something different because everybody knew that I was big. I was a big shot caller at 9 years old, which is not true, but that's what my brain told me, and that's what my friends told me, and everybody looked up to me, and I was the leader of all the little young homies there. We played soccer, and I was the leader of calling everybody's team, so I think it started from there, started developing as in saying, wow, like I'm the captain from this team. But I didn't took it as a captain. I took it as I'm the leader, I'm the boss, I'm the king, I'm God. And it felt good, felt good. And it just continued through time in elementary school.
So were you addicted to it right off the bat, you think?
I don't know. I don't know if I was addicted. I just know that
it was heroin. So, it was in your veins. So, you probably didn't know any different at 9.
Yeah, probably that's what it was, but I around 12 years old. So I continued through the time. I don't really remember as much, now that I'm older, I don't remember as much, but I remember 12 years old, I OD'd my first time. And, showed up in the hospital and that was it, and I thought I was going to stop, never do anything again. And it was a OD of a drug. And,
did your mom come?
My mom, my dad went, but nobody, back in the days, it was hard to determine what kind of drug it was, what it was. They just said that it was overdose of drugs. And since I hung around with gang members around that time, so my mom just figured, because he hangs around with them, this is what happened. And they didn't put too much attention. First of all, they work in the fields, and they didn't speak no English. So it was a good thing for me because I didn't get in trouble as much. I got my ass beat a few times, but,
So did you have any tracks in your arms?
Not in the beginning until slowly I started, because I didn't shoot every day. People that shoot every day, they get tracks.
Oh, is that?
I didn't shoot every day, but I remember...
when you OD'd, do you remember anything about that?
No, I just remember just waking up and going home and getting in trouble. And I don't know if CPS showed up. I just remember that, I got my ass beat. So that's really what I remember, So I don't remember anything else.
Rightfully so.
But that's really for sure, And my lifestyle just felt good during that time. I had better dreams, I know it sounds stupid, but my dream was to kill a lot of people, do life in Pelican Bay, San Quentin. Those were my drugs, and
never college football or anything like that. Just
I wanted to play for the Niners
and go to Pelican Bay.
Come on, So it was just fantasy life, but I wanted that. I wanted that feeling of being God.
Did you have any teachers that inspired you? Was there anybody that inspired you in a different direction?
I did.
Okay.
So I had a teacher named Miss Forbes that I'm still to this time looking for her. She was amazing to us. She's a fourth grade teacher, Echo Valley, and she helped us out a lot. We had financial problems. Like I said, my dad and my mom worked fields. It was hard times, and she always brought us food. You know, she gave us our first puppy. It was a pit bull or something, or I don't know, one of those cup dogs. But she gave us our first dog, and she was always nice to us, you know, and, you know, I loved her for that. And I always looked for her even till now, you know. So she's the one who tried to guide us not to get in there, especially for me, you know, because my other brothers were doing pretty good, you know, just me, you know, I just...
Because you have how many siblings?
I have 3 brothers and 1 sister.
And were they involved in drugs?
Nothing. My older brother was like a little bit more with the gangs, but not really. You know, he was just there with the friends, I guess. You know, I can't really say he was in it, but he was with them, you know.
So when did you become a gang member? Or where you actually knew that you were in a gang as opposed to just wanting to be in?
So around 9, you know, around 9. I know 7 years old, I already had that dream. I already had my view of owning my own people, you know, having my own crew. 9 years old, I think that's when I started. You know, I started hanging around, you know, that's really where my life changed. And that's what I wanted to do, you know.
Do you think it's because your parents worked a lot, that they weren't there? Do you think that...
I will say, okay, my first part, I will say that it was for that. Not too much attention with them, you know. This might sound stupid, you know, but we used to watch movies. I don't know what movie it was. It was a Christmas movie, and I seen this white family that I thought it was a perfect family. They sat at a table, they ate dinner. I don't know if it was a turkey or it was something with Christmas, and I remember telling my mom, and I said, I don't know if she remembers still, you know, but I told her, you know, I want to be white. You know, I was mad, and I said, I want to be white because those white people on TV, they never argue. They never have no problems. I mean, obviously now I know that's not true, you know, but that's what I wanted. I see that perfect family. I wanted that, you know, and like I said, I grew up, I was born in the 80s, so 90s and early 2000s for us was, you know, different. We grew up with a different generation that if your parents work, you could play outside till it's dark.
Latchkey. I call it latchkey because you have a key, you could get in by yourself.
Yes. You know, and I enjoyed that, you know, and sometimes I overdid it, you know, because it was nice. So I didn't go play all the time. I went over there, hung out with the friends, and did drugs, and just, you know, did bad stuff, throw eggs on people's houses, you know, break windows, try to go steal stuff when we could, you know, and I thought that was life, you know. I didn't get in trouble, so we didn't get caught. It was nice, and what we did, I knew that they were gonna hit me, and that was it.
How was your life with your parents? Did they have a good relationship? Was it a good family life?
So I don't know how to put it, but they always argue. That was my only thing I remember. I think they were good, you know. Their intentions were great. Everything was great. We always had food on the table.
So the provision was there.
Yes, but every time I don't know if it was every fucking Friday or Saturday, but they argue for the dumbest reasons, you know. This ain't done right, and they start arguing. And it was annoying, you know. I did not want my brothers to see that, and me and my older brother got to see a lot of that. And that's why I chose the other side. You know, it was nicer. It was easier. It was comfort. You know, it was comfort. It was love.
In the gangs.
So, you know, I fell in love with that. It was better than going home and hearing my dad and my mom argue. Don't blame them for that, you know, but it's just, that's what I seen.
Were you afraid of your dad?
My dad, yeah. My mom, I don't know. My mom hit me harder, but my dad just seeing that old Mexican dude just coming. I mean, he was buff, strong, he was really well fit, and his hand was painful because he hits you one time and it just hurts. My mom was a little crazier. My mom threw irons, anything, chai class, she threw everything at you, but you could touch him, so it was good. My dad, you just see him come in and he'll hold you with a nice grip, spank the shit out of you. And, and that was it. He was like really throw, just one, two, three, and he'll leave you, but it hurt, it hurt. And my mom, I was like, yeah, sometimes it hits, but hers was kind of like off, like, she ain't gonna catch me,
So when you got into high school, did you go to high school?
I did.
And how'd that go?
So
were you still doing, at this point, if you started doing heroin at 9, by the time you were in high school, what drugs were you doing at that point?
So I did coke and heroin. So I started doing coke and heroin. Well, my guy, can't mention his name,
Don't.
My guy, he figured that, and that was before high school, that was around, my couple times I did it, he said that heroin was too strong for me. That I think I should do heroin and cocaine together. It's called speedball. That will make me feel normal. So I was normal what I remember, I was normal for a long time. And in middle school, I adapted to the normal of heroin and cocaine for so long. I don't remember if it was 8th grade, 9th grade. I couldn't find veins. And so I just kept stuck in different other places, every part of my body that I could think of. And there was entering high school.
That's when you were a full-on addict.
Yeah, so I think it was probably middle school, middle school.
You weren't afraid of needles?
I wasn't afraid of shooting myself with needles, I was afraid to see an open needle and, just seeing it in the floor, I was scared. But now if I open it, because I knew what I was doing for my part, but I had my last vision, and so I don't know if this caused my colorblind, but okay. I would say I was normal. I don't know if that's the right word, but around 15, I remember shooting in my eyeballs, and after that, I don't know if I just didn't see color or if I felt like it was normal, but from there it just started losing vision of colors, and the reason why I say that is because I'm a Niner fan. I know what red looks like, so.
Can you see red now?
No, I can't.
Oh.
So, but I know it's
that's only because you're a Niner fan.
Oh, no.
If you were a Raider fan, you'd still be able to see. I'm just kidding.
No, I don't think so. I'm glad I'm not a Raider fan. Probably I wouldn't be able to see.
So seriously, you shot heroin into your eyes?
Yeah, my eyeballs.
Sat down.
My left one. And I don't remember doing it to my right, but I remember doing it to my left, and that was it. I don't remember from there as much.
And where else did you have to shoot it? I mean,
everywhere else that you could think of, appropriate, inappropriate places. So,
but what does that do? I mean, because I'm completely ignorant.
Oh,
so you shot heroin in your eye. So what were you trying to do? Get high? Is that what we're doing?
No, I was trying to get high, but I couldn't find no veins. So I didn't have any veins till now. You see, there's only a few ones that barely come up. Because I don't have veins no more. I don't know if it's due to all that. Sure. For doing it for so long. But between that time, you were asking me about high school.
Yeah.
Between that time, I never drank until high school. And
look, we didn't need to drink.
Well, yeah.
I mean, that might have been better for you, right?
That would have been.
Had you ever smoked weed?
Not previous to that.
So you just jumped straight from.
So I just jumped to the main one. But it was in high school. So I share this, and I'm part of Alcoholics Anonymous. So I share this that my first drink was freshman year. But I played football, and a couple of the people from football said to drink, and I said, "Oh no, I smelled that thing, and I knew it was nasty. It just smells gross." But they said, "Well, if you drink, you play ball, you have a lot of sex." So I said, "Wow, just for drinking, I'm about to do it." since I'm an addict, I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I go to the extreme, so I gotta figure out how to do it. So so it was good. I mean, it did happen. I had a lot of sex.
In high school?
Yes, in high school. And
So when you were drinking and you were playing football, you were still doing drugs?
yes, so because they don't test you for that.
Is that
You know,
something? I think they do now, huh?
They probably will.
They
I'm not
should?
sure. Yeah, they should.
They should.
I just know that your grades needed to be
Right.
2.0.
And how were your grades?
They were decent. I cheated a lot, so it helped me in that part. I had good friends. I did my homework.
So that's how you were able to stay on the football team.
Yes. So until, I failed, I was being a little bit more aggressive, I was hurting people the wrong way, so I was unsportsman because I took orders differently. Somebody says, take that quarterback out. I took it a little bit further than what just means.
They didn't mean literally.
Literally, yes. They meant just, try to make sure that he doesn't take the pass.
But not you.
I was making sure that he was out for the whole game. I felt that was the right thing. People that I hit during football season, I did get to apologize to a few of them from a couple other schools that I met this couple of years. They should
hit them in a different way.
I broke people's legs, backs, arms.
On purpose.
On purpose. I spit on their face.
Did you get caught?
Yeah, I got caught. I got,
Did you get got ejected from the game?
I did. Multiple times.
Did you get kicked off the team?
I did.
Okay. I mean, did you go to jail? I mean, did you go?
No, not to jail because it was a game.
So from 9 and then you get into high school, is it a self-esteem issue? Is it something that you feel like you wanted the self-efficacy, I'll say, and that means that it's the feeling, it's the belief that you can do something. So you had this inappropriate type of belief that you could do something, and then you took it to a level that was dangerous to yourself and others.
Yep.
It sounds like.
Yeah, that's all right.
No,
That's
so
all right.
were your siblings? Thank you, Debbie, for that soliloquy. Were your brothers like that, or your?
No, neither of them.
So it's just you.
Just me. I wanted him to know that I was stronger, so I followed my brother and I just kick him harder, in purpose, and he didn't have the ball, and my dad kicks me out of the game, and I said, okay, cool. Next game I know what I'm going to do, and I'm going to show him. We play football in the street, and same thing, I went over there, and he was shorter, smaller, so I tackled the shit out of him, yeah, and I hit him harder, and if I couldn't get him because he was so fast, okay, I was fast, this guy was faster, and it was so hard to tackle him or to even get close to him, because he was so fast. The opposite person in his team, I would do that on purpose. I would just seal him, and I knew that he couldn't hit as hard as I could, and I do it on purpose. And he was my friend.
Were you angry?
I was very angry.
Why were you angry?
Just me and my dad's problems. So he was always. I felt like he was always putting me down. Like if I don't know, like if I wasn't his son, it was every time. Man, I'm pretty sure it was because of my attitude, my drugs. He didn't expect that from me. I felt like he didn't love me enough. So I just said, okay, well, so you can see what I do, so you can love me better. I did it the wrong way, like I said.
You wanted attention.
I wanted a lot of attention, and I felt like I didn't have any of that with him.
Were you close to your mom?
Yeah, I was close to, my mom. Yeah, I guess I just protected my mom more, because she didn't hit me as much, she always tried to help us out when she could, she was always trying to be there when she could. If I go a little bit back in middle school, nobody showed up for my graduation in 8th grade. So a couple of days before the graduation, so I don't know if they still do it, but the stance that you got to do, you got to kind of practice how you sit, right? And I remember just being goofy, acting stupid, And they told me, if you keep doing that again, you're not gonna graduate. I said, I don't care. Nobody's even gonna come see me, So it felt hard, till this day. It just kind of hurts a little bit, But I understand that they work, they work, but I didn't know that before, So it hurt, and
They didn't come.
they didn't come. They didn't have a car, and once again, they're a Mexican family, old Mexican tradition family that didn't have a car. They had to ask for rides, and me and my older brother were the first ones that graduated, But I felt angry because they showed up to his, not to mine, But because they thought I was going to graduate, So
I know that's hard.
yeah, they just, I don't know, they just didn't thought I was.
And you were you were a boy, and you were young,
Yeah,
and you're graduating 8th grade, and you wanted them there.
yeah, and seeing everybody else, all my friends that was in Moss Landing. Of course, I had a right to go back home, but people had balloons, I didn't, and it's not obviously about the balloons, it's just
No, it is about
how they're showing up.
It's about the balloons. It's about showing up.
Yeah.
It's about the balloons. It's about everybody else's family being there and yours not there.
Yeah,
And the fact that they couldn't get there did not mean anything to you
yeah,
because they were there for your older brother.
yeah.
How come they were there for your older brother?
I don't know.
But you understood it. And he was how much older than you?
1 year older.
So they were able to get there,
Yeah.
but they weren't able to get there for you.
Yeah, because and I knew that. So I don't know if it was a principal. They said I wasn't going to graduate.
Mhm.
I don't know if they just couldn't take the time off. They just didn't know that. I mean, they just thought I wasn't going to graduate. And
Did you ever say to them, what happened when you got home that day? How did you get
nothing. I walked to Castro.
So Castro, that's still far.
Yeah.
So you walked from Moss Landing to Castroville.
Yes.
That's still far.
Yeah.
On that 2-lane highway.
The 2-lane highway.
And when you got home, what happened?
Nothing. I just.
Did you tell anybody you missed my graduation?
No, I didn't say anything. I just remember.
Did your brothers and sisters come to the graduation?
Nobody. So I just remember. I mean, like I said, I did have a ride. My mom had arranged a ride for me, but I didn't want to take it. Nobody was there, So I felt mad, So what I did, obviously, what I turned into, I turned back into drug, go back, and I just walked. I don't remember how long it took me. I just know that I walked home, and I felt embarrassed, I felt ashamed because people like, where you going? Oh, I'm just right here around the corner, and I lied, and I waited for the whole graduation to be over, and
She didn't want anybody to see you.
yeah. So I just didn't want to feel like if I was a poor kid, like that type of shame, that you see like bullied, and because I'm a tough ass dude, and everybody knows me from that, and I didn't want them to know.
But there was that boy inside.
Yes. I didn't want them to know that this is really who I am. I just putting this other person in there, so because that's what I know what to do, how to do. And got home. I don't think they asked me anything. I don't know if they said, "How was your graduation?" Oh, I told my mother.
Have you ever? We'll come back to here, but have you ever told your mom and dad about how you feel? Because you are now how old?
38.
You're 38 years old. That happened when you were 12
Yeah, something like that.
or 13, maybe at the most.
Yeah.
And you still cry.
Yeah.
It still hurts you. Did you ever say to them that this is how you felt? Have you ever said to them, because this is very impactful,
Yeah.
Juan, for you at this stage in your life to still feel that. And it's okay. And it's real. Have you ever said to your mom?
No.
Or to your dad, this is what happened?
Okay. I think around 19, I told my dad.
Okay.
That
it hurt you, that you...
I didn't
Maybe not that.
told him exactly. I just remember telling him that I did all this stuff because you never showed up to my graduations. You never did all this. So I kind of just threw it at his face in a different way, but I never technically explain to them what happened that day. Not even my mother, so I don't. I mean, it hurts because it's still
It hurts.
it's boiled in there. Of course. And
So take me. So back, you went from that day. And then you still went to high school.
yeah, I went to high school.
And did you graduate?
I didn't graduate in at North County. I had to go to a continuation school. So my first year of high school was great. I had great teachers. This lady named Miss Jordan. She was a math teacher. She was always good, and good impact with her. So I felt stupid all the time, because I didn't know I wasn't smart enough. But
Could you read?
I could read, but I just didn't want to. I just didn't want. I think I just wanted stuff to be handed and just write me off and let me go back outside. And
Are you afraid of failing?
yes, very afraid. But she taught me how to work through it, and I mean, shit. I think in freshman year was my highest GPA. So
Come on.
yeah, so it was good.
It is amazing that, because I have two of my best friends, one of us is retired, but two of them are teachers. I don't know if people really understand the impact that teachers have, especially if parents aren't there.
Yeah.
And it sounds like for you, the impact that you had that kept you inspired, at least on some level, were the teachers
Yeah.
that you were encountered.
Yeah.
When your parents could not be there.
Yeah.
And one thing we do know is that, and I'm not giving your parents an out on that day, but one thing we do know is that you can't provide and be home at the same time.
God.
You can't, we get that because you're a dad, but at the same time, that teacher that you had going into ninth grade really helped you to feel better about yourself and your learning experience, at least, right? So you had a good, you had a good year, freshman year. Were you still doing heroin and coke?
Yeah, I'm still there.
That's what you were, an addict, right? And nobody knew?
Yeah, I think they knew. Nobody was going to stop me, that was my fix.
Yeah, but that's heroin and coke.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
After you...
a big difference from smoking weed or,
yeah.
Did you think maybe they thought that's all it was weed? Maybe that's why?
Probably. I never explained myself to people, not everybody did what I did.
I was going to say, when you say get high,
Yeah,
but they ain't going to get high, but you going to get high.
Yeah, but for me it was normal. And then, I started doing weed a little bit there, and, so I just mixed everything. And, I suicidal thoughts, but it didn't clearly get there because of the people that were in my life, the people that I felt responsible for. Like, I won't say my brothers, but the people that I felt like I was pushing to the gangs,
Okay, so at this point, you were now in a gang.
Yeah.
Full-fledged in a gang.
Yeah.
And you had people that you felt that
It was my responsibility.
and so that gave you a sense of purpose.
Yeah. So, and it felt good knowing that, our main dude here, it's a role model. And I wanted to be that role model. That was my first thing from the beginning before drugs, because that's what I wanted. I had it that, and I was like, wow, I feel good. So I got to stay in the straight direction, even though it wasn't like that, but like I said, my freshman year, I did pretty good. I know I did wood. And I liked it. I liked something that it was enjoyable. I love PE. I was one of the fastest in our county. I ran track. I play soccer and I play football. I went to the Junior Olympics because of that.
Were your parents there for that?
No. So, sorry.
Well, that's okay.
So those, I do understand that those were harder, but the smallest things, which is graduations, should have been, what's it called? Summer schools. And we had this program called Canmecac. I don't know if it was still a Mexican. I could say that, right? Because I'm Mexican. So, it was like Hispanic thing. I don't know what really it was, but it was really cool because we got to go in there. Same thing, I still have yearbooks from there.
Mm-hmm.
I was a gang member of that crew, but it was good. They taught us about like Chicano studies and a couple of the shit that I don't really remember, but and I learned a little bit about our history, but I wasn't really into it because, my dream, my decision was already made
To be a gang.
to be a gang member. So,
Did you tell people that out loud?
yeah, I told everybody, I want everybody to know what I was going to accomplish in my life,
Even to your teachers in high school?
to my teachers.
And what did they say? Were they alarmed? Did they send a note home?
Well, they did, they did. So,
Oh, they did.
so at 7, they asked me what I wanted to do when I grew up, I want to say I was a second grader or something like that, and or third grade, I remember, but this guy named Mr. Rico, I think it was the third grade, they asked me, and this one, you ask a kid, hey, what do you want to be?
Yeah.
And I said, and I don't know if I still have it, but I think I do, and it says, I want to play for the San Francisco 49ers, I want to be a running back, and I want to go to jail, and did my rest of my life in prison. I didn't know what prison's there, but I remember so they thought, there's something wrong with this kid. So they called my parents, normal things. My dad beat the shit out of me because he thought, like, what the hell is wrong with you? And
I'm laughing because your dad doesn't speak English.
Yes.
So whatever they say, all he knows is you're at the school cutting up. Now remember, culturally, when our parents got a call, I didn't care what you were doing. You're gonna get your behind work just because they got a call from the school.
Yeah, that's.
And in their mind, I'm out here working and going to school, and you're supposed to be going to school, and I'm getting a food call. So it didn't matter what it was.
Yeah.
But he didn't pay attention to what you were saying.
I don't know. I don't remember. I just know I just got my ass beat.
Yeah, because he got a call from the school.
Yeah. So
that's all. Yeah.
And they always called for me, so it was normal, to get.
So do you feel that maybe your parents felt like he's incorrigible? Incorrigible means he's not somebody that can be corrected. He's a troublemaker, and so do you feel like that's why they didn't?
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense because.
But never realizing, well, he needs more attention.
Yes. Yeah.
It was the opposite.
Yeah, like he's doing it on purpose.
He's doing it on purpose, so I'm going to whip him.
Yeah.
But he's a troublemaker, so I'm not going to go to his graduation. Yes. I'm not going to do these things.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to speak for them in that part. Right. I just know that, just like we were talking earlier, the counseling wasn't there back in the days.
That's true.
So if it was, probably would have been different.
Right. Because then the counselor could have brought that out of you and could have talked about why you were doing your aggressions.
Yeah.
Why you were so, I can say a pendulum. Pendulum means I want to be a 49er. I want to be a gang. I want to get Al Capone. Those are two vastly different things. But they could have figured out why you had that.
Yes.
And that would have taken therapy to figure that out.
Yeah. That is, I wish we had that or had a little bit more of that back in the days. Probably I wouldn't be doing everything that I did.
I tell the generation now that when they talk about depression and say that we don't understand, you were depressed.
Oh yeah, I was very depressed.
You were depressed. Now we know that now.
Yeah.
But back then we didn't know what it was. So so that was 9th grade. What happened when you got to be 10th? When did you drop out?
So 10th grade, I didn't get dropped out. I mean, I didn't drop out. I got kicked out.
Oh, but first,
I did a couple of things that was wrong. I hit the teacher, the principal.
That would be a reason.
Yeah, and I always, I knew that was my time for some reason. I wanted to leave.
Why didn't you want principal?
Just to do it, just because I was angry. Because he called my dad one day or my mom, because we beat up some kids in school and felt like the blame was only mine. And when I got home again, got my ass beat, and I explained to my dad. And he didn't care because he figured that was a normal thing for me. And I said, he thought I was lying all the time. And I said, no, look, this guy started it. This was happening. So I went in there and I helped, to try to move. Somebody hit me and the person that I am, I'm not going to let nobody hit me. So I took flight. I just kept hitting. And, when I do something, I do it a little bit extremely. So, I'm kicking the guy in the face. I'm spitting in his face.
It's a lot.
I pulled my shit out and I pissed on his face.
Oh, my goodness.
Because I thought that was the right thing. You hurt me. I want you to feel what I feel.
And you think this is all because of your feeling some way about your father, your anger?
That could be. Yeah.
That's a lot of anger.
It is a lot
to be doing a whole lot of that. So you pulled out, and you did this in high school?
In high school, yeah.
And did they put you in juvenile hall?
Not there, but I knew I had to go through some counseling, but I was so high, I don't remember.
Oh, that's right. Because in the meantime,
Yeah.
you're still doing drugs.
Yeah, so I don't remember. When I asked my mom now, I know that she said that, we had good counselors, but I don't remember. I don't remember half of high school, half of middle school.
Were on drugs.
Because I was always drunk.
So do you think that combined with everything else going on in your home and your own internal inferno, and the anger and that the lack of attention and some other things, do you feel that the drugs also caused a level of adrenaline, level of aggression?
No, I just
Did you feel angry when you came down off of them? Did you keep
no. I was weird, but I was normal. I was good. When I was high, I was okay. Not those drugs. At least those drugs were I was okay. Anger was just because of everything else.
everything else?
It was never. I would say it wasn't because of drugs, but when I got in trouble, I was drugged out. But I don't remember being angry for any of that. It could have caused some of it, yes. Now that I'm older and I see it, of course, but not before.
You think you're more angry because of your dad?
I was angry for because I think I was angry for that graduation.
That eighth grade graduation.
So if I go back, angry for the 6th grade graduation.
Didn't come to that either.
Not even. My brothers did. Mine didn't. 8th grade did it. Some of the graduations for the summer school program, we had a few of them, and I had great mentors, there, and that was before that 10th grade.
Uh-huh.
And this guy named Jerry, I think that's his name. He's cool with me telling his name, so he's good. I hated him. He was, and I always tell him, he's a big Christian guy, and I always tell him, bro, remember when I used to hate you? I wanted to shoot him in the face,
Oh my.
And he was always talking to me about God, and but there was a guy that had the opposite color, and
What do you mean by that?
the opposite color of like red and blue, gang related, and I went there with, acting cool, and then I remember him pulled me to the office, and he said, "Hey man, you got to take that off." And I said, "I know you just seen the other dude with hanging, bro." And it was like, I'm talking to you. It's about your life. Don't worry about nobody else's life but your life.
Oh, I got you.
So I never understood why. I just felt like he was my dad. He's putting me down, but he's not taking care of the other one too, And so I felt angry. And I remember just telling him, "Do you know who I am? I will go back home. I'll come back here and I will shoot you in your face, bro."
How old were you then?
I was probably 15,
And that's when you were shooting the heroin in your head.
Yes. So
So at that point you had a weapon.
yeah. Oh, I carry a weapon from 13, 12, I think. So I always had it, I just, back in the days, we never really did all that stuff, It
brandished
was different.
pulled
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, we fought, we jumped people.
Okay.
So it was a little bit more,
But your aggression started getting a little bit worse.
it did.
So when you dropped out of school, what did you do?
I went to North High.
And so you left one school, but you went to another.
Yeah, so I went to North High, got kicked out. Went to Alvarez, got kicked out. Went to Salinas High, got kicked out. And
And
it sent me to,
which year was this?
that was all in 2000,
Your freshman or your sophomore?
my sophomore year. So
So you got kicked out of 3 high schools.
4 high school.
4 high schools got kicked out.
Yeah.
So then what'd you do?
So my dad had just hit my mom, went to prison or jail, I don't know, but he got deported. So my mom was taking care of 5 kids, right? 5 kids with the trouble guy like me, which I'm sad now, but at that time, I didn't care, selling drugs.
So when you were 15, your dad hit your mom and got deported for domestic violence?
For domestic violence. So, and, I didn't really understand what the hell was going on. We're homeless, living in a shelter, and it's new. It's something new, I see my mom's, she still worked, and she was supporting 5 kids, My older brother took off out to Oakland, and
What did he do there?
with my grandma.
Okay.
He took off and he worked out there, and he dropped out of school, and he was one of the smartest guys to go, which is sad because he dropped off for the reason. But he did the right decision, never came back, and my mom took care of 4 kids, which I was the oldest. She asked me to help her. I was so high, so mad that I didn't think about anybody else but me, I sold drugs and consumed every part of money that I got, gave it to my friends. Never gave my mom, always to my friends. And we were homeless. My mom got accepted in a shelter, and she lived there, and I was too old.
Where did you live?
I lived in friends' houses in Castro. There were days that we stayed on top of the library.
Outside?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I feel like it was something, I mean, I had friends I could stay with, it didn't matter. I had money, but just knowing that I couldn't stay with her, felt like neglected, like, oh, you can't, rejected, there you go. You can't, only them. So everything was like,
Going back.
only them, so, so it was hard, it was hard seeing it that way. And my mom explained to me, and it was so sad, because my mom did explain, and she said, hey, Neil, I'm sorry, it's just, they only accept from this age to this age, and, but I'm going to do the best. My mom did everything she could to try to get me in there, which she did. But what did I do? I go in there, we seen some young girls there. I mean, we're young, it's me and my buddy, and we tried to escape from that thing, and go try to meet some girls with, alarm rings, and she gets in trouble, so I calls her stay there, we moved to Oakland, with my grandma. We had issues, it's a little bit different, can't really touch those, I don't know how she feel. They didn't really like me as much, because they liked my brother because he worked, and he was not a troublemaker. And the other hand, I was always in jail again, and drugs, and it felt like I was the bad kid of that family. But
You feel like the black sheep of the family?
yeah, and my grandma had their own kids that were bad, opposite gang members, that we didn't hung out, or we didn't like each other, and no, I wasn't there, so they were
Okay.
so
Yeah, and there's your cousins?
and then my cousins, so we fought, one of I don't know if I could really put it out there, but got kicked out of the grandmas
Because of you?
because of me. So, and I created that, and I told my mom, well, just leave me, I'll find my own way, just, you take care of that way you have a place to live, but my mom is my mom, she's never going to do that, and so she pulled me and my other 3 siblings, and we took off. I think we came to Salinas.
You had a car?
No, I think I don't know how we got home, but it was like either the Greyhound or something, but we came back. I had my first kid at 17. I met this girl, had my kid at 17. I didn't want kids.
That bad.
I was a kid myself.
So struggling with that baby in the 8th grade that didn't get to graduate?
I just wanted to be seen, and I said, if I could do this, better, Had my second kid back to back. I was always in and out of jail, selling drugs, selling women.
Selling what?
Selling women.
At how old?
15 and a half to 16, to 17 and a half. Yeah, pimping girls.
And pray tell, how did you do that at 16 and 17?
Just the people I hung out with,
And they respected you in that manner in order to.
Yeah, I mean,
Were they kids, girls?
no, they were women, not girls. They were women. They were in their late 20s.
So you were 16.
I was 16.
And you were a pimp.
Yeah.
Supposedly.
Yeah.
Is it whatever you called it then?
That's what it is. That's
Right.
what it was for us.
And then you were a gang member.
Yes.
Okay.
So
there was this kind of thing where, and these women, they realized that you were a kid.
Yeah, I guess. And I did my part.
Collected whatever.
Yeah. So it went through that time. Even when I still had my kids, I still made money.
Were these girls that you had sex with, were they part of the prostitution ring?
No, those are different. So, and because it's by a code, you can't do that.
I got you.
So, but yeah, that was the mother of my kids, right? We had 2 kids. I felt like I'm gonna change my life, and I'm stopping drugs, and I wasn't ready.
How'd that work for you?
Uh,
You were 17?
I was 17. So what I did is that I struggled. I struggled to be a father because I didn't know how to do it. I didn't want kids. I didn't want to clean my kids, when they're in the bathroom, anything, I just didn't want.
You were a kid yourself.
Yeah, so I didn't want part of it. I thought it was going to be like, she cleans everything, I don't do nothing.
And where did you all live at this point?
I lived on my father-in-law's house, or my ex-father-in-law's house, her parents.
Were you married?
No, we were just together, and
they let you live there?
they let me live there.
And that was a good relationship?
It was a pretty good relationship in the beginning. Everything went good. My father came back, and
From being deported?
deported.
Okay.
So, and it seemed like it was normal, like good.
So your dad came back to your mom
To my mom, yeah,
with the 3 kids,
with 3 kids.
and she had a place to live at this point?
Yes. So
And then you were living now with the girlfriend and the other family.
yes,
Okay.
and I think I changed a little bit for
Season.
3 months, a season, like you said, yeah, and it was good. It was different. It's gaining some weight. I slowed down on pimping. I slowed down on drugs.
Mm-hmm.
While still doing my drug, but I wasn't selling as much. I wasn't going to jail every week. Just didn't see the future. I didn't see bypass that. What am I going to do in the future? What am I going to be a good father? Am I going to be a good husband later? I just seen that, okay, well, I just slow down for right now, so that way I don't go to jail as much. That's what it was. It wasn't nothing else.
So by the time you were of age, let's say an adult, by the time you were 18 or 19, what were you doing?
So at 18, I had a lot of cases already, criminal cases. I got sent to rehab, and
The jail program?
through my probation.
Okay.
So she sent me to AA, and my journey started in Alcoholics Anonymous, and in jail, and
So you were an alcoholic?
I was an alcoholic and addict, so I was already
So you were
blowing.
So they sent you to AA, but not NA.
No, because back in the days, AA was more familiar to them.
That's true.
So so that's when I went. But
Did they know you were doing heroin and coke?
who, my probation officer?
Mhm.
Oh yeah, they knew it. They knew everything.
But you were also drinking at that point.
Yes. So, but I wasn't a big hard drinker. But when I drank, I got angry. So, but it goes back. I don't think it has a lot to do with drugs. It's just my past.
You were trying to self-medicate it.
Yes. I opened the first door. I opened the second door, and when I went in there, I looked around and I seen old people. And I said, "Oh shit! I'm not an alcoholic or addict. I'm still young. I'm not even 21. I don't even have a permit to or ID to get beer. So yeah, that's not mine. So I closed the door. There was no young girls. So I would if there was a young girl, I would have stayed.
If you didn't see any relevance to being there.
But no. So I left. And around 18, I went to Monterey County Jail,
Mm-hmm.
and I was sick and tired. I was sick and tired of just going back and living the life that I have. And I heard it before from older homeboys. Hey man, don't get in this part because nobody's gonna take it. Not even a jug of milk to your mother. But nothing processed there during those times before that. And for me, it was like, what I want to be. This is what I'm gonna be. This is what I'm gonna do. This is what I'm gonna become.
Mm-hmm.
And
Did you ever go to prison?
I did when I was 15 and a half. So just can't touch base as much, but yeah, 15 and a half. And traumatic,
I guess so.
that I get it, that is still till now. I still till now.
So you come out of prison, and we won't touch on the fact that you were 15 and a half. And so going back 18 and 19, you get to be 20. What are you doing with your life?
Well, at 18, my journey started at 18. I went to county, and this is where I kind of say this is where the miracle happens, right? I went in there, and I remember going inside, getting out of the booking, and just not want to go in there. I want to go home. I want to go eat a Whopper. I know it sounds so stupid, but I wanted to.
He wanted something. Different.
Yeah, and I knew I couldn't go. And
it hit you.
Why a Whopper? I remember praying because, you pray to God and God will deliver. And, and I said, walking into that, whoever's been in jail knows, you walk in there and before you get changed, right? And I said, God, if you take me out, man, I promise I will never do this again. I'll never come back to jail. I'll be a good kid. I'll stay clean and sober. I didn't say clean and sober because I didn't know the definition, but I meant not do drugs or alcohol ever again, and I'll be a good kid. And but I was lying. I just wanted God to get me out of there so I could go back and do the same thing I was doing, because I need to get high.
That's another thing because you don't. Yeah.
So I wasn't ready for nothing, But when I got there, I hope this guy doesn't get offended if I use his name.
Don't say his name.
Okay. So, I just gotta say his first name, and the cop asked me. He said, "Hey, we have a cell. It was a 23-hour lockdown because I was like hella high or something. 23-hour lockdown, and you're gonna go with this guy, and his name is Francisco. He's 80 years old, or this other guy, I don't know his name, right? And he's 20 years old. So my mind is like, shit, if this guy's trying to do something to me, I get to kill him.
The older
he's old. Yeah, he's old. He's not gonna be as fast as me.
So they let you pick who you were gonna send.
So yeah, because they were both open. So I said to myself, I'm going with the 80. Because of that decision, not because of anything else. I know it sounds stupid, but it was because of that decision. I was scared, knowing that I'm 18 now. I'm not a kid. Now I can't just call my mom and say, Mom, hurry up, talk to him so you get me out of here. Now it's like,
right, you're an adult now.
Yeah, your consequences are going in there.
You're not in YA, you're not in junior.
Nothing. So now I go in there and this guy's praying, right? So the first thing is when they open the door, I come in the first one, go in the second one. I remember the cell number, right? But I remember going in there and just watching him, and that guy's praying. He's old. He's praying. I see that it's black on his knees, black on his elbows, and all I hear him talking about me and some other people that I know. So I'm confused. Like, did they already told him I was coming in, or what the hell is going on? But I was scared because he's older. He's probably been in prison all his life, and he's waiting for me.
You were in jail, not prison, right?
Yeah, but I'm thinking that.
But you're thinking because he's old. Yeah,
he's been in there for so many years. Like, he got out. Here's my number. My name is here, and you gotta kill this guy, which is me.
So that's what you felt.
So that's my feeling when I went in there, because he said my name, on his prayers. Like, yeah, you're praying for me to die. That's what you pray for. You don't pray for nothing else, And I get in there, and it's late. And this guy is, I got booked in there late. I do remember it was late. It was already dark because I kind of see some of that, and no Whopper for me, and just a prayer, but he was praying and praying, and I got tired because I'm scared, not because of anything else. If we want to be realistic, I was scared. It's my first time in county jail. I look down and I tell this guy, like, hey, when are you gonna stop praying, bro? Like, and he's like, I'm just praying for you. I'm praying for this other guys, and so I'm tripping out. What the hell? How do you know my name? And I'm confused. I'm pissed off. And so I go back in. I'm, what they say, you sleep with one eye open, one eye closed.
I know that's right.
It doesn't really work out because that means I'm still awake, So I look down and I say, what the hell do you want me to do, bro? So you can shut up and go to bed, And he says, accept Jesus as your Lord and Savior. And I said, who? Jesus. And I said, okay, yeah, sure. Why did I do it? Because this guy could shut up, go to bed, and I get to sleep because I'm tired, I just got booked in there. So we go through a whole routine of accepting God and all this other shit. I hate it, but I'm doing it because I want this guy to shut up. So I think it's over. He goes to bed. I go to bed, wake up in the morning, and it's our first breakfast. I don't know if it was 4 o'clock in the morning or something like that. And before I'm about to dig in, he asked me to pray. So I'm pissed. I'm mad. And, we were talking about that earlier, but I'm so mad. Like, what the hell? I didn't sign up for this shit. I just signed up to accept that so you can go to bed so I can eat my breakfast today. So I said, all right, cool, whatever. So we prayed, and did I really pray? I don't know. Did I wanted to pray? Yes.
Oh, you did want to pray?
I always wanted to pray because of those 6 or 4 white people that were sitting in that TV eating dinner. They were praying before they ate. And I wanted that. So it felt good.
Remember that?
Yeah, so I felt good. But, I didn't do it for that reason. I just, I said, all right, well, this guy can shut up and we're good, But it didn't work that way, There's nothing else to do after that. I exercised. I went to the bunk, and I remember him asking me, do you have a Bible? And yeah, no, I don't read this shit, and we're gonna give you a Bible. I'm gonna get you a Bible. I don't know if it took commissary time. Sometimes it takes a week or so, and it's been so long, I don't remember, but I remember getting the Bible and it said Bible for Dummies, and I mean,
Here you go, you got it again.
You know who I am,
Yeah. For substance abuse treatment and mental health referrals, contact the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration's National Helpline at 1-800-662-57.